Approach every encounter not with a goal in mind that you're going to sell anything. Think about it as a discovery meeting and make it about the person opposite you. Find out as much as you can about that person, who they are, where they come from, what they're doing. Do you have a business? Is it product or a service? Find out, because through them telling you who they are, you will glean what you have that might help them do what they do.
Welcome to another episode of the Newcomer Network at You Multicultural Channel. I'm Jocelyn Gilbert, and in March, we are celebrating Women's Day. It's Women's Month, so we are celebrating the whole March. And today we are going to be talking with Alanna Keefe. She's an amazing woman who will be guiding our conversation on women in business. Thank you, Alanna.
Thank you, Jocelyn. I'm Alanna Keefe. I'm the Managing Director of Manitoba Women's Enterprise Center here in Winnipeg, operating as WeMB.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
What I do as the Managing Director is overseeing most of the operations of the center, and I was previously a business advisor for a number of years. I worked on contract initially, then a business advisor, and moved up to the position I am at right now. But WeMB serves the entire province of Manitoba, helping women discover their passions in entrepreneurship and helping them launch businesses from ideation stage, gathering their ideas, research and information, right through the process of building a business plan, through to the conclusion of launching, and then maybe growing, scaling, going international, and possibly even selling their business. So we work with women from the beginning right through to the end of stage entrepreneurship.
I have been in business since I was 12,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a long story. And I have this entrepreneurial heart.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came here, I didn't know how many things work, and it took some time for me to go through this pathway,
Mm-hmm.
and it took almost 8 years. So what do you think is a challenge that many women in general, not only immigrants, not
Mm-hmm.
only newcomers, women face in terms of starting a business?
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that question, Jocelyn. I'm going to take a two-pronged approach with it. I'm going to speak very generally in terms of what some of those challenges are, and then I'm going to speak to the issue of newcomers or immigrants coming to our province wishing to set something up. So the kinds of challenges that someone might face, and particularly women, it's not knowing the systems that are out there to support them. So at WeMB, we provide not just information and guidance to navigate those systems, but we also make introductions to women aspiring to entrepreneurship so that they're helped by the appropriate resources and support agencies at the position where they're at, so that not giving, financial institution advice before they've actually set up and done a proper research and business plan development, but we can help guide all that. Another challenge that women face, specifically in launching a business, is getting set with the right financial capital. Oftentimes women self-start and self-fund their enterprises without wanting to go into debt. That's a longer story, but wanting to mitigate debt, they aren't accessing the resources financially that are available to them. And then sometimes, I would say, generally speaking, women need a strong network, a strong community of support. So there's challenges in finding that right community, depending on what sector you're working in, depending on what stage you're at with your business, and also depending on who you are and how comfortable you are to ask for the support that you need at any given time. Now, from the perspective of an immigrant or a newcomer to Manitoba or to Canada, a challenge is knowing where do I go with what I know when I don't know what is necessary to operate in Canada. So wanting to find individuals and agencies where they feel safe, where they can ask questions and not feel intimidated by not being prepared or having some language barriers and not really understanding. Oftentimes when we have newcomers come to the center doors, these folks are more than well equipped. They've had businesses back home, they've been successful, but they're navigating everything new when they come here. And it might be the banking system, it might be a limited community connection, it might be just not knowing the right language to use, the right business language, and not wanting to make a false step. So there's lots of, I'll say, tentative steps forward. It's really important for newcomers to feel that they're in a safe environment, that they can trust the individuals and the advisors that they're going to for support. And I believe that WeMB offers that. We offer one-on-one advising and in a really nurturing environment. So there's no stupid question. There's no area that we can't touch upon, because when you open a business, you also open yourself and your personal life and all your relationships up to a little bit of scrutiny. And then you have to find a way to balance all of that. And there's lots of things going on for a newcomer that they're having to navigate and balance. And then you add to that thinking about a business launch or a start. It can be complicated.
So you could support those people who they already know that they want to start a business, but
Sure.
they don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I want to start a business, but I don't know in which areas,
Mm-hmm.
because what I did back home was totally different. Or maybe I don't know if this service will work here, if there's demand. Do you help those kinds of women?
We can. From the perspective of what we do lending, which is a little later down that path of entrepreneurship. We do training in the sense of we have core business services, Welcome to Business and Business Plan Development Series. And then we do subject matter specialty training. We have a training program going right now called Strength and Community, and it's a multi-phased series of workshops, and you talk about all sorts of different topics. And then there's the advising side of what we offer to clients and networking. I would say someone who's undecided about what they might do is to have a preliminary meeting with one of our business advisors or come to one of our events. So we do business breakfasts, we do luncheons, we do collaborations. We just finished one with the Steinbach Chamber of Commerce. It was a lunch and learn event, fabulous. And when you come to something like that, if we know in advance that, maybe you've never been before and you're just sort of trying things out, well, we'll put you with the right people to sit at a table and have some good conversation, and then you're going to meet a number of people doing a whole variety of things. So being in that environment, listening to other people's story without agenda, both no agenda for you, no agenda for them, but a discovery a conversation or a discovery networking moment. That really helps, because you're asking people who are already in business or just starting one where they're at, how they got there, and it'll help inform your decision making.
Yeah, that's true. And I think networking is one of the most important part before, because you can get your partners, mentors. You learn from other people's ideas and experiences, and you get to know the environment. And then work on the idea. I like it. No, I may make some changes.
Yep. Well, that's a really good example, actually, Jocelyn, because why not, when we say do your business plan and make all your mistakes on the paper, because you can manage that, you can massage that. If you're considering a new business, no matter what sector you're in, talk to a lot of people. You'd be surprised. Not everybody feels competition. If you're wanting to open a bakery and you talk with some people who own one already, everybody has their niche. And it's surprising how willing, especially women entrepreneurs, wanting to support community, wanting to help elevate and to inform and to, tell you what are the obstacles to miss? What are the challenges you might want to navigate differently than them? That's really valuable information. Yeah.
Well, I always share this experience. When I came here, I brought some jewelry to sell, but I didn't know how everything worked. I went to so many markets, but the markets I went, people were not into those kinds of jewelry. And I thought, that's a failure. But then I realized that if I come back like with those jewelry again, I would know where to go, but I didn't have the network. I didn't know where to go with those products. That's the number one. And the second one is that I'm not paying taxes to sell those things. So there are so many things that people don't know when they come here.
And it's incremental. You know, I think there's a desire. I've got to get it going. I need some money. I want to get this started. And sometimes folks can rush to the launch and not be well set up. And sometimes what they're experiencing as a failure, not really a failure, but you're testing your own market. You're testing your research and the effort that you've put in, and you know, maybe you picked the wrong market. Or if you talk to someone and you hear there's this whole other crafters space that focuses more on jewelry and home accoutrement as opposed to a food and farmers market, then you're going to align your product and your passion appropriately to the place where you know the clients that want what you're offering are going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I am experiencing again with my new business because now I know which markets work, which markets are better, and how to present, even how to set up the table or
You're talking about the spice business.
Yes, that
okay.
one.
No, well, I might know a thing
because
or two
I have
about
a
that business, but that's a really good example, because there are such a variety. There's hundreds of markets throughout the province, and if you've got the ability to travel, you'd be surprised. Some of those rural markets, because the catchment area is considerable, those are really good to go to. Or there's ones in Portage la Prairie and Steinbach and in the Interlake and up the west coast of our province, the western side of our province. Really, really important. And then when you talk about the markets that are within Winnipeg proper, some of them are much more organized and structured, and they've got wait lists to get in, and then some a little less so. But there's value in exploring all of them, because you might have something that really resonates, no matter whether it's super structured or is less structured market. Then, you know, if you think I have to be at the St. Norbert's market, that might not be the right place for you to start.
Yeah. And that is important because we don't have that. We don't know that. How are we going to learn that? By doing.
So that as an entry, just saying that. You can be born in Canada and not know that. In my mind, newcomers are coming with a large history and experience from back home, and they've got the support of their immediate family, and sometimes they have support of community that's already integrated, well integrated here in Manitoba, and that's really great. But what we do is we offer a bit of a bridge. So we can answer questions that maybe your own family or your mentorship and community group can't answer, or maybe we can give alternatives. So we augment the information that you're getting from home and from the people who are closest to you with some thoughts, and we'll challenge you to think about your idea a little differently, because we're coming at it from the business and profitability perspective. So we'll often say that we support women in business, not necessarily women exploring hobby, but hobbies often turn into business. So, you know, if you're a crafter of a kind, or a jewelry maker, a beader, if you do quilting, or you just love small batch food preparation, that's all part of the journey of entrepreneurship. And you know, some folks coming already have been full-fledged businesses back home, and it's just trying to figure out now, how do I translate that, both with language, and if it's a food product, all that listing, ingredient listing on the package, where do I go to get that information? We can help. We can't necessarily do it all for you, but we can point you in a direction
where
to get that resource.
Yeah. And it's very important, because sometimes things look very easy, but they are not. And I want to share something else with you. When I came here, or we came as a family, we were very challenged with food, because we are not a salt and pepper family.
Okay.
We eat with lots of flavor. So I was thinking, if I bring my flavor to people's tables, people will be very happy, which it can happen. But many people are very happy with the salt and pepper.
Yes. Yeah.
And I felt so frustrated when I was trying to show people, smell it or try it. No, I don't cook. Or no, I'm a salt and pepper person. I don't like spices. And that's something that sometimes we don't think about, especially when we are writing our business plan. And that's why I like the idea of having that support, because you have a different knowledge than us. We are coming with so many things in our minds or our thoughts, but that's not necessarily real in here or works in here.
That's a good way to express it. There's the value of what you bring that you know has already worked, and then there's the value and the humility of asking, will this work here? And if not, where am I going to find the folks who want exactly what I've got? And having that discussion and challenge with someone who thinks a little differently or has a very specific Canadian perspective, that's just going to help you, I don't even want to say pivot, but massage your idea to best advantage so that you can leverage everything that you're bringing, all that experience and intelligence that you've already earned and put into your business idea, or even if you haven't started yet, but you're smart and you know you can make it work, then you're managing the perspective of all of the folks who are at WeMB that have business experience. And don't forget, we've been in operation for 32 years. We've served thousands and thousands of women in business over that time, and across all sectors. There is not a sector that we have not worked with and for women in business. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would like to add that there are two different women who already have business before and they have the experience, but those one who have never started anything. The journey is totally different. It starts different, yeah?
Well, it starts different. I think there's more trepidation. There's a matter of one's own confidence in self and confidence that you could conceive of an idea that other people would want to invest in or to buy from you. If you've done it already and you know you can make it work, then it's just managing how to make it work here and utilizing all the tools and resources available to you. If you just have an idea and you're passionate about that, you need folks who are going to help examine and unpack the idea so that you boost it where it needs boosting, you get more research where it needs a little bit more input, so that when you are ready to launch, you're not going to stumble over some of the obstacles because you just didn't put enough time into navigating where's the best place to sell my product or my service, or what's the best time of year to do it, or how do I make my limited amount of time work over the course of the weeks and months and year that I have available to me. Because oftentimes folks who are starting businesses, they're starting them as a side business off the side of the desk, and they may have employment, so they're doing both, and they might have to do both for a while before the business makes them enough money that they can be supported by the profits of the business. And that's a whole other different thing to navigate. It's especially important if your business requires investment of any kind. So if you're going to a lender and you need some startup dollars, and we at WeMB, we lend between $5,000 and we can help you access up to $200,000 for your business. Whatever that debt is, the negotiation of the loan terms means you're going to have to find a regular payment strategy to pay back that loan. So if you've got a full-time job or a part-time job, that can help bridge when months are lean, when you're in business and selling your product or service. But as you grow, you know that the debt parameters are a little bit different. You just have to, everything's solvable. That's the other side of it. There is no problem that doesn't have a solution. It's just having the patience and the willingness to ask for help and not leave it until you're overwhelmed and you feel like you don't have anywhere to turn and you want to give up. Because there's, I can't stress that enough. If you can be honest enough with yourself and maintain that passion for your goals to be an entrepreneur, then we can help you get there. And we also do a thing, our advisors do a thing where, you know, there's a little bit of that stress reality test, because we have lots of people come with fabulous ideas, but they're not ideas that can be translated into profitable ideas yet. So sometimes the reality check with an advisor is interesting concept, not great timing. Or interesting concept, you have to go back and do a little bit more homework. Or interesting concept, but how about thinking about it this way and just change the idea a little bit and see where you can go with it. So that back and forth, that discussion, that's really as equally important as being prepared, well-researched, and impassioned about what you're doing.
And what about a person that doesn't know anything about the research?
Oh, we can help direct you to what you have to do. If you know, what's an example? I don't know, someone wants to open a doggy daycare because they love animals, but they don't have an animal. They just think that the idea is a very good one. There's a few steps to get to the place of, are you equipped? Do you have a background? Do you have an education in doing that sort of thing? Or have you volunteered? Did you volunteer at the Humane Society, or have you, is there a doggy daycare somewhere in your neighborhood that you could volunteer and just observe what the operations are like? So we can walk you through an idea, and if you've done nothing, you can sort of, I don't want to say poke holes in the idea, but make you think twice about, okay, why that idea? So do it in a supportive way, not to question that you're going in a direction that's not the right direction for you, but to really make you think about, why do you think this idea is going to work? Have you done the research to see how many families in the area where you live, or the Manitoba proper, have pets? How many of those pets are dogs? Yeah. So, you know, like, what is it like? And then you want to do your research on your competitor. How many doggy daycares are out there? Where are you going to locate? You know, and what are your expectations as a business owner? Because you can, all of that is in place. But if you're hoping to make a lot of money really fast, that idea better be well researched, and you have to know already that you can get investment and that you've got a client base ready, willing, and able to purchase. Yeah. If it's a lifestyle business, as in you want to do it because you're just so passionate about serving people or helping people, and your expectation isn't to make a ton of money, valid, absolutely valid. Or maybe you're a mother with children and you can't dedicate as much time as you normally would. You know, all those aspects of entrepreneurship are things that we can talk through with you, and certainly our community of entrepreneurs, when you're in a networking event, can also help inform your understanding of what it's going to take. Yeah.
And now that you talk that the networking event, that's my favorite part.
Oh, the networking.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm talking all the time, and I'm a people person. But sometimes people don't know how to approach others. They're afraid. Oh, English is not my first language. I feel ashamed. What if I make a mistake? What if they don't like me? What if, I don't know. There are so many things that make people impede even to attend. Sometimes they don't even want, or when they go, they stay aside. But I think this is very important. Getting out of our comfort zone.
Well, getting out of your comfort zone, but we're also quite attuned. I'll say this, and it came up at our last event. We did a breakfast this past Tuesday. Really, really interesting. One of my colleagues was talking to a client who said, I've never been before, this is my first time. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I really wanted to hear the speakers speak. It was two Indigenous sisters, Tanis and Rael Smoke, who own Nina Washte, which is a big game and event production company. And the colleague said, well, I saw you standing there over by the door, and it looked like it was taking you a long time to decide where to go. I wasn't sure if you were looking for someone who you knew, or you just weren't sure where to go. So I came out to you. So we notice when people are feeling a little maybe uncomfortable or just not sure where to sit or what to do. And it's like, it's family, come sit at our table. And here's 4 people that you can have a small conversation with. And if you're comfortable with that, we'll introduce you to the 6 people at the table next to us. So that piece of the puzzle, we can help bridge that as well. But that's a piece of entrepreneurship that not everybody loves. Almost unanimously, people don't like the finance part of business. There's a few of us who like it, but and then there's folks, I just don't sell. I don't even know where to begin. And my thought, when I was an advisor, I would say this: approach every encounter not with a goal in mind that you're going to sell anything. Think about it as a discovery meeting and make it about the person opposite you. Find out as much as you can about that person, who they are, where they come from, what they're doing. Do you have a business? Is it product or a service? Find out, because through them telling you who they are, you will glean what you have that might help them do what they do better. So when it's a discovery and you don't come with expectation in conversation, you're really pulling all the ingredients from someone who may need your bookkeeping service because they mention, I love what I do so much, but then I have no time to get the finances done. Ding.
Yeah.
Now you have an in.
Yeah.
And you can follow up that discovery meeting with, I didn't mention, or maybe I did mention, I have a bookkeeping company, but I'd love to speak with you about some of the services I offer if you have time. But you've already bridged the, who am I? What do I say? I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
By making it all about them.
Yeah. Being curious.
Being
instead
curious.
Of coming and, this is what I have. Would you like? What will you do? Be interested. Yeah.
Well, that's so off-putting, right?
Yeah.
If you sell too hard to anybody, they're going to look for the next person that they can have a conversation with just to tone it down a little bit, even if what you have to offer is exceptional.
And what you're saying, it's very important for us culturally, because sometimes, it depends on the cultures, but some cultures are very direct.
Yes.
And when you go too much to the point, immediately people can feel, yeah, but show interest. I love it.
So you're sort of like you're gathering. You're gathering, and you're also excavating. So when you think discovery, think of it like a little archaeological site where you're clearing away the dust, the rubble, the stones, so that you could see more clearly who that individual is across from you. And it will naturally turn to a little bit of conversation about yourself. And you can sort of say what you want, reveal what you want, but it's that thing that puts other people at ease. When you're curious about them, they're far more inclined to be curious about you, especially when you get them talking. So for me, that discovery encounter or discovery meeting is critical. And it gives you ideas about how to approach the next person too, without intimidation and without too much of an agenda.
Yeah. And it is about practicing, because you may not feel uncomfortable, may not feel comfortable the first time, and the next one, okay, I can do this one better. I can make a few changes, because it's about practice. And it sounds very natural for you, but for so many people, that's an exercise.
Not natural. Yeah. Or
it is not natural until it becomes natural, but you need to practice.
Yeah. And it's, I'm a nervous public speaker. Look at your eyes.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No.
Well, I am a nervous public speaker. And it always surprises people. But what my nerves are about isn't about the people that I'm speaking to. It's an internal thing, that it's outside of my comfort zone. And I struggle with getting calm, staying focused, staying on target in terms of doing a presentation well and getting my point across and being engaging. So it's all in my head. I get reinforced and terrific feedback. You're so natural up there. You're just very warm and welcoming and embracing. But that's not what's going on in my mind. So it's very similar for someone who's uncomfortable with the idea of, oh, there's 50 people at this breakfast. What am I going to do? What am I going to say? No, put it all a little bit aside and invite that person opposite you to just talk about themselves and their business. And that's gonna let it develop naturally and organically. You know, that for me, that's been a good trick, and I've seen it work wonders for folks who are outside of their comfort zone there. And also put yourself out there. You know, I know you love people, but you put yourself out there for.
I get nervous.
Yeah.
You don't notice maybe, but I do.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do? I'm taking on a speaking engagement, or if someone really wants you to show me what you do, show me your products. You know, that's a time to shine because you've got an idea and you've put some effort in. Take those opportunities, even if it makes you a little bit, and have a champion. You know, maybe it's your business advisor, it's someone that you shared, or it's me. And I'm right beside you sort of saying, yeah, no, Jocelyn Spices.
I get very nervous, especially when I know that they may bring a great outcome.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Why?
Why the nerves? Because it matters. Because it's important, right? If I didn't care what people took away from a presentation, I probably would have no nerves whatsoever.
That's true.
But I care. I really care. And, you know, we were talking about March and the upcoming International Women's Day, which has been around since 1911. So we're in our 115th year of celebrating International Women's Day. And the theme for this year is Give to Gain. Mm-hmm. Give to Gain is about helping to elevate women in business, helping to elevate equality, and to do it in a fashion that is about building support and community. So the idea that you're really reaching out and trying to leverage someone else's success is that you're going to make the whole ecosystem, the whole entrepreneurial journey better for all women. So I love that philosophy. I love that philosophy so much. I wasn't aware that this was, you know, before I came here, I looked to see what the theme was, but that's my approach to my team, to my staff, to the clients that I have. If there's something I can do to elevate you, I will get that back multifold. And who knows when, but I know it will translate into deeper, more meaningful relationships, which translate into deeper, more long-lasting client relationships that then translate into potentially an increase in my income and an increase in my influence in a growing community. Yeah. So it can start as simple as, I'm going to help Jocelyn get there faster, or I'm going to help redirect her so she doesn't waste time doing something, or I know just the right person who would love that flavor, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when you mentioned that, I love it. That's my philosophy. I am a giver.
A giver?
I am a giver. And my husband always is telling me, hey, why you're giving so much when people don't even ask? Because I am a giver. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I organized my first Hispanic networking event.
Oh, right.
And everybody was, oh, I'm so happy. This is the first time in many years I have been here that I see an event like that for free. Mm-hmm. I'm a giver. Mm-hmm. But what I didn't know after that event, how many doors were open for Jocelyn after that event. And then I organized the second, the third, the fourth, and we're having the fifth, over 500 people. And when we're talking about an event like that, it's unique. But how did it start? Started with giving.
It started with giving. And you know, you've described the long-term lasting benefit to Jocelyn, but what's really hard to measure is the impact that had on the gathering of people who decided to show up for the first one, the second one, the third one, and the incremental gift that your giving gave to the individual women and the community at large. And it sparked ideas. if she can do that, maybe I can do it, or I'm going to do this different thing, or I want to do it, I'm going to reach out to Jocelyn because I know that she's already paved the way and she knows the things I should avoid.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many small organizations are needing for someone to mentor them to grow in certain areas, but if we are not giving them, we're keeping those things for ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not keen on the whole
So I
competition
love
piece.
that. I love that. Can you repeat the principle?
Give to gain.
Give to gain.
Give to gain.
Yeah.
So that what you're offering is about collaboration, cooperation, and support. If you focus on that, the amount that you are paid back is multiplied. Never mind what you're giving to the person who immediately benefits. And it's just a philosophy that I've had my whole life. I don't believe in competition with this exception. Competition is good. It keeps us real. It keeps us targeted. It offers us a perspective that we can look at and examine. What am I doing differently? If you talk about pricing and competition or undercutting your competition, that sort of thing, well, there's whole reams of evidence and research and science behind how to position yourself as a business owner in selling your service or product. But why I say I don't believe in competition, I think competition is valuable. It's necessary. And
I don't like it.
no one person has the product or service to serve everyone, and you shouldn't expect to. You should have a really good understanding of who your clients are or your prospective clients, and really focus on making them happy and to keeping them as repeat clients, and building a new portfolio of individuals to fall into place when some of your clients move on to other products or services. It's, you can't be everything to everyone, so get really good at serving a very specific client base and elevating that incrementally, gradually over time, and the windfalls, the successes of making good, lasting connections will serve your business better in the long run.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't know if you know, I don't know if my audience knows, but I had a school back in Dominican Republic for over 10 years.
A school?
A school.
What age range?
We had preschool and first years of elementary.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you were an educator?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
That's
Great.
my main,
yeah,
my first degree. So I remember in Dominican Republic, it's totally different than in here. Preschools and schools are chasing the people. And here we have long waiting list for getting your children in a preschool.
And is that because
in here?
Back home in Dominican, people
there are so many schools.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So many. So parents can choose.
Right.
So there's more competition. And I remember we were a group of 3 to 4 schools. We started with a WhatsApp group. And before I moved to to Canada, we created the first association of small and medium schools. And it started like that because I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. And I learned a lot from them, and now they have been growing a lot, working together, helping each other, because there's power in collaboration.
Huge power in collaboration.
But that's something that can be challenging for some women.
Say more about that before I comment on it. What do you mean there's challenge for some women in collaboration?
Because when women see each other doing the same things, they feel what you mentioned. Oh, she can take my clients.
That little intimidation that you're going to take away.
Or she can copy my strategies.
Oh, do it. Copy my strategy.
Yeah,
Best
but
form
that
of flattery.
can be challenging for some people.
It can be challenging, but it's also, I think, part of that lesson and entrepreneurship, if anything. If you don't have confidence, you got to build a tough skin and a little bit of Kevlar on your clothes so that you can emerge from the experience and the journey of entrepreneurship, understanding who you are a little better, understanding what your capacity and your super strengths are and superpowers are, because confidence is essential, arrogance is not. Confidence in your idea, confidence in that you have passion to bring to bear on your business, and that, you know, there isn't just one of anything. Having choice gives your clients also the opportunity to examine you and choose you. So when you keep bringing it back to yourself and what you're offering, product or service, and improving on it, what your competitor is doing is good for your research purposes. It's good to have, and it's also good if you understand what they're doing, because you can say, well, Doggy Daycare down the street offers, you know, you can come at, I don't know, we open at 7:30 and we close at 5:30. Well, you could make the choice. We open at 7 and we close at 6, so that you've got an extra window to come to us, and they might change their timing. So then you say, well, we have a pick up and drop off, a really convenient thing. So knowing what your competitor is doing allows you to massage your offering to advantage, not to decimate the competition, but to learn from it and leverage.
Yeah. So let's go to the business plan and the financial, because finances is one of the most challenging.
It can be. We like to think at WeMB that we help simplify some of those challenging pieces. For women especially, sometimes the finance is a piece that they would choose to avoid. And if you're going to choose to avoid it, well, make sure you know a good bookkeeper or accountant who can help you stay the course, stay on track, and stay up to date. That's the key element. We offer a business plan development workshop series. It's a 6-part series over 6 weeks. It's quite intensive. It's quite vigorous. We have a template for the business plan, and we also have a template for a 2-year financial forecast, so that we walk you through how to develop it, how to develop a plan. And there's plans available online, you know, our plan isn't the one and only plan, but when you work with us, we really work through some of the mechanics of how to make that plan make good sense. You know, you can Google business plans, and you can Google elements of the document to help inform you on the marketing, the research and analysis you might have to do on if you have a business that requires operating elements, or a team, a staff, human resource, and then the financial piece. All that is available. But what we like to do is really focus our training on making it a solid plan, well-researched and backed up by legitimate and measurable data. So the financial piece, 2 sections of our business planning workshop series is dedicated to that. It's important, and it's not just important because you can make or break a business on your financial plan, but it's important to understand the implications of the decisions you make, right? So that piece of the puzzle is as important as the concept itself, and finding the right market, the right client, and the right positioning, because you can, if you leave that to the end and you don't give enough energy and commit thoughtful consideration to your financial plan, you can be stalled before you even start. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And there are people who can uncomplicate it for you. And it can be fun, actually. It can be an intriguing sort of puzzle that you have to figure out how to make work. And then when the template that we have allows you to plug and play. You can put numbers in and see what happens if I make, you know, if I sell my service to 15 more people every month, what that is going to translate to at the end of the year. If I adjust my hourly rate as a service provider, or the product I'm selling by just a few dollars or $1 more, what that looks like, that can be a lot of fun, you know?
Alanna, any advice to a woman who has already a business idea but is still thinking, should I do it or not do it?
Get outside your comfort zone. Don't just talk to family and friends because they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Or they're going to be really blunt and say, what a ridiculous idea. Get outside your comfort zone and pick up the phone and call WeMB and make an appointment. Get outside your comfort zone and come to an event. We put on events, the chambers of commerce put on events. There's lots of other agencies that do similar work to us, Seed Winnipeg, the Community Futures organizations in the rural municipalities who are in the business of economic development as we are. North Forge, if you've got a technology specific idea, you know, make a foray and have a conversation. And that's going to get you a little closer to realizing your dream, adjusting your dream, or maybe shelving it and starting fresh.
Yeah, and from the immigration perspective, any advice for immigrants?
Don't let your experience, your new experience here in Canada, stop you from exploring your full potential as an entrepreneur. I believe so much in the wealth and breadth of experience that comes from every single person who chooses to come to live in Canada, Manitoba, and here in Winnipeg, that we've got well more to learn from you than you do from us. It's just a matter of navigating our systems so that you can leverage it to your success.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alanna.
Oh, you're so
Thank
welcome.
you for coming and for all those amazing insights.
Oh, it's a pleasure
and
always to talk to you, Jocelyn. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you, and thank you one more time to our wonderful audience. This is the Newcomer Network. See you next time in another episode, and don't forget to subscribe to You Multicultural channel and share this video. Bye-bye.